Hey everyone, I thought it was about time for another reading update because recently I finished the Elfstones of Shannara, the second Shannara book by Terry Brooks. Definitely better than the first one. The first one was basically a Lord of the Rings clone, I would say, which was a huge disappointment, but I'm glad I stick with it and I went on to the second one. Because basically in this one Terry Brooks gets to write his own story. So in this one a magical tree is dying, who is protecting the world from demons. And basically someone has to get a seed from this tree and get it to a different place so it can be magically enhanced, and then they can replant it and grow a new tree which will protect the world again. And so it's basically still a quest fantasy where we follow Will, who is the grandson of Shea from the first novel. This takes place about 50 years after the first one, and he basically has to protect someone. The only person who can get a seed to this place and back to plant a new tree. And so he is the only one who can use the Elfstones, which are, well, they were in the first book as well, and they get a much bigger use in this one. And so because of reasons he's the only one who can use it, and well, he has to protect this person, this elven girl. This book focuses a lot on the elven part of the world. And the second POV is Ander, who is the elven prince. He's the second son of the elven king, and we follow him more with the elves who are basically preparing for this demon invasion. And yeah, it's basically all new characters. Most characters from the first novel are basically dead or really old. But there are like 3 characters who return. And one of them is Elenon, the druid. He plays again a huge role in this one. And 2 others, which I won't spoil. It feels much smaller in scale, character-wise, because we only follow 2 instead of like we have followed like 5 characters in the first one. And yeah, it's basically just classic fantasy. There's this dark, evil demon who wants to destroy the world, and well, the characters have to prevent it from happening. But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot better than the first, and I'm definitely gonna continue with the third one in the trilogy, which is called Elfstones of Shannara. But the main problem I'm facing with that one is that my local bookstore, which I buy my books from, doesn't sell the third book. At least not this version, the newer version of them. They sell like the 80s version, but I kind of want to get a new one to like get the set complete. So yeah, I might have to figure out how I'm gonna get it, but we'll see when we get there. But the book I'm currently reading is a cyberpunk book, Neuromancer by William Gibson. It's a well-known book. Yeah, it's about this hacker who is accessing the cybernet, which is a big idea from this novel. Most sci-fi books basically have like one big idea. This one basically has 10. So a lot of new stuff that was like new to the sci-fi genre, to the cyberpunk genre. And yeah, this novel really feels very modern. I think it could be written today, basically. That's how modern it feels. It predicts a lot of stuff that actually did come true in some way or form, and some others not, of course, or still have to come true. But yeah, it basically follows this hacker who like works for corporations, and he basically steals secrets from one corporation and sells it to others. But he screws over his employees, and so they find out, and so they basically poison him or damage his body, and so he can't access the cybernet anymore, and so he basically becomes useless. And so at the start of this novel, he basically tries to heal himself and to get access back, and because he basically can't make money anymore, but he can't find anyone who can heal him. And so at some point he gets approached by a big person, a sketchy person who is like, I can heal you, but you have to do this big dangerous job for me. And so it goes from there. And well, it's a very fast-paced book, probably the fastest paced book I've ever read. It's so fast that it's basically confusing at a lot of points. I feel like writers can make stories confusing in two ways, either by having a confusing story or the writing being very confusing. And I think what Gibson does in this story, he basically does both. There's a lot of techno babble, I would call it. A lot of words that he makes up, and he doesn't explain them, so you basically have to figure them out by yourself, which can be a bit confusing, and the scene changes can be a bit quick, a bit jarring sometimes. Yeah, so at least at first, the first 100 pages were very confusing. I barely had any idea what was going on. I think that's a major setback for this book. And yeah, the characters are very flat, I would say. Very cyberpunk characters. They use a lot of drugs and alcohol, and there's a lot of sex and that kind of stuff. And so yeah, at first I didn't really enjoy it, but I'm about halfway through now and it's getting better. I understand a little bit better of what's going on, and so that helps a lot. So I hope the second half is I can at least figure out what's going on, so I can enjoy it more. But yeah, definitely I definitely can see this novel had a lot of influence. Yeah, it feels really modern. And so I thought it was going to be a short book. It's a short book, it's 300 pages, but it's pretty difficult to read. And so it's taken me longer than I was anticipating. I thought it was more like a palate cleanser, quick read, but yeah, it's taken longer than I thought it would, but not that it's a bad thing or anything, but yeah. In the next book, talking about light reads, this is a bigger one. Magician by Raymond E. Feist. Another classic fantasy. I think pretty well known, but yeah, it's almost 900 pages, so usually I read a bit quicker through fantasy, but still a long read. But yeah, this is about I don't know much about it, but it's about a apprentice to a magician. Yeah, and that's basically all I know about it. But I'm very curious about of it. Usually magic in these like classic stories basically don't get much explanation. It's kind of just there. Characters like Elrond or from Shannara, or like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, they kind of can use magic, but it never really gets explained. So I'm curious how it's gonna be in this one, because if this person has to learn magic, I wonder how deep the writer goes into that aspect. Yeah, if it gets explained a lot or not, but yeah, I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out. And of course there's like a war in the background. Something has to happen in 900 pages. So basically has to learn on the fly. So yeah, but yeah, another classic fantasy. So looking forward to that one. And yeah, probably the next reading update is gonna be in a while, but I usually do them in the middle of books. So but yeah, I'll probably do some more reviews in the meantime. I did like a review of the Foundation trilogy, which I got a lot of positive feedback on. I really put a lot of effort in this video, and it also turned out a little bit longer, but yeah, it's a lot of fun of like going back to these stories I enjoyed and really delving deeper into them. So as for other things I plan, I have a friend who also secretly watches my channel. And, well, he basically wants me to get back into manga. Well, I was like, I don't have time for that, but if there's manga about farming, I would do it. And well, I didn't think there would be one, but turns out, of course, there is one. It's called Silver Spoon, and I looked up the cover, and well, I immediately wanted to buy it. So, but that one's a bit farther away, and I made a promise to him that if I made it to 100 subscribers, I would look into that one. Most of you probably don't know, but I'm a dairy farmer in real life, so that one seems interesting to me. And yeah, but yeah, I probably never make it to 100 subscribers, but we'll see if we ever get there. But anyway, that's it for now. Let me know what you're reading and what you think of these books. And well, until next time, bye.